As a gay man, I would be punished and or put in prison or killed if I were openly gay in Palestine. How do you react to that?
I didn't know that. So
It is illegal to be gay in Palestine. You are punished by prison or death.
Israel?
No, Israel has gay pride. Israel is completely open to lesbian and gay people. Palestine puts them in prison or kills them. You weren't aware of that?
I was not aware of that, no.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back to A Conservative Confucius here. Let's get into it. We're going to be covering some crazy pride stuff. You know, does pride truly come before the fall, or is that just nonsense? Well, I happen to think it is true. I mean, what happens when you become a narcissistic attention whore like these kids and these adults who are so obsessed with showing their body and their, flaunting their sexuality to the world and forcing these, rules and regulations on us and telling us we can't say this and we can't do that. I would say that they're definitely coming towards a fall. And I would say that this behavior is going to lead to that. So let's get into it. Don't forget to go down there, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and don't forget to share this video if you like it. And if you didn't, I appreciate you guys watching and sticking around. Alrighty, let's get to it. Alrighty. So this first video is going to be from Avi Yemeni, and he is there with Billboard Chris, our favorite guy from the U.S. who goes around exposing what's going on. We've covered him a little bit in the past, so let's get down to it.
You say a human male who protects his kids. Protects is the word I'm talking about. That's bullying. You're not protecting anyone.
Protection is bullying.
Well, yeah. What I'm saying is that gender can be fluid and it does not affect other.
So let's go over that real quick. I want to go over that last part where they said protects is bullying. Really? How? How is it that if someone, let's say a lawful wife and husband are walking down the street and a predator or a man, a grapist, attacks the woman, is the man bullying his wife or the grapist if he protects his wife and beats the crap out of this man and maybe even ends his life? Is that bullying? I don't know. I'll leave the answer up to you guys. I think maybe myself, it might be. Or it might not be. I think that's just straight up protecting what you ought to protect and what you not only should and ought to, but you must protect. So is it bullying when a father protects his family from a burglar who's armed? Or what, is he bullying the burglar? Is he bullying his family? No, this is crazy. Nonsense, dude.
And it does not affect other people. It does not affect other people's lives.
I literally just showed you an example where it affects other people. Women who don't want to share those spaces. Now you're saying...
I mean, it affects everyone, it's not just women's spaces that are affected. Everyone is affected by this ideology. They're forcing pronouns on us. They force us to, let all this crap go on in our cities with the parades and all the, everything is affected. I mean, every Netflix, Disney, Amazon, we all got LGBTQ sections and movies and shows and all this crap. You don't have this for any other group. Where is, First Responder Month, where we celebrate our firefighters, our cops, our EMTs, our nurses and doctors? Where is that? Our military, of course. Where is that? Our veterans get one day of the year. Are the rest of our first responders get nothing? There's no cop day, firefighter day, EMT and medical day. There is none of that. This is disgusting. We get an entire month for these sick, depraved lunatics, and yet we don't even get an entire week or weekend for the people that fight every day for this country and risk their lives to do so. This is BS.
That those women's spaces should be defined.
Honestly, guys, sorry, interrupt again. You know what? We should try to, if everybody's watching this, start a hashtag if you can. Go online and post something. Either, you post this video, whatever you want to, or clip from this video. Post something that says hashtag First Responders Month. I think that would be great. I think it's something that needs to be done. I don't want to get it too popular though, because I don't want Biden to do it. I want Trump to do it. I think it's something that Biden doesn't need any wins.
By their biological sex at birth. Yes or no?
I don't know. What I'm saying.
So it literally affects other people.
I mean, obviously, let's go back a little bit.
But
I don't know.
Biological sex at birth. Yes or
So should they use the bathroom of the biological sex they have at birth? And of course, that's a yes, because biological sex is more important to bathroom usage than anything else. It has nothing to do with gender. I mean, if I go into a bathroom and I'm a transgender woman, I'm going to go into the men's bathroom. You know why? Because they have urinals, which shows that they're meant for me, not meant for a person who has a, a taco down there. I don't want to say anything too not controversial, but too, explicit on this channel. So yeah, if I have a sausage, I'm going to go into the men's bathroom. I'm not going to go into the women's bathroom. So I don't care. I mean, yes, you see people that go into the women's bathroom, but those are lunatics. I mean, you have so many trans people that are pre-op, meaning they still have their sausage and eggs. They go into the men's bathroom because they understand they have no place in the other one. And until they get their taco, stay the hell out. And if they don't pass as feminine, stay the hell out even longer. I don't care. Like, you don't have a right to invade people's spaces to make yourself feel more comfortable while everyone else is uncomfortable. And they say, oh, but if I go into the men's bathroom, then I'm uncomfortable. Then go to a family bathroom. Almost every place on the planet nowadays either has a single locked bathroom or has a family or handicap stall, or not stall, but single and individual handicap bathroom available. These people are lunatics. They're narcissists. They're attention whores. They want everything for themselves. Everything has to be part of them. If it's not, then they have to have it. Like, it's just insane.
No.
I don't know. What I'm saying.
So it literally affects other people. You're really nice. But the cult got you.
The cult. You think people being told they can have a certain gender or a certain sexuality is a cult?
People thinking you can pretend to be something you're not, and the whole world's going to go along with it, including the people, yes, it affects.
Yes.
Is a cult.
Yep.
And you, I feel for you because you're stuck in the cult.
He's 100% correct. We're not going to watch the whole thing, so let's skip ahead a little bit.
Very heavily indoctrinated people who think it's kind to try to change the sex of children.
Do you mind if we stick around and see what happens?
So yeah, we're going to watch this a little bit longer. We're not going to get through too much of it. I want to cover a whole bunch of other stuff, so yeah.
Do it, man.
Older people like you guys, you can't grasp
Older
the
people.
idea.
Excuse me, I'm quite young.
I'm pretty sure Avi is like, 29, 32 maybe. I'm not exactly sure, but I don't think he's too old. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, wow, he's older than I thought, 38. Wow, doesn't seem that old. Yeah, I mean, he's involved in the culture more than anyone his age.
All right, buddy.
I identify as 19.
See, this is the argument that people keep pulling. It's not about that. If people want to,
I mean, he's still a millennial, so he's not in an old, an old generation. He's still in the same generation as me.
As a black person, but I can identify as a woman.
What? See, this is what I mean. Why is it harmful that people want to, identify as another gender? How does that harm you?
How does it harm you that I want to identify as 19?
It doesn't harm me.
Okay, so then
why can't you accept it?
I didn't say I didn't accept it.
Do you accept that I'm 19?
If you want to say that, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't affect me.
So will you take back your statement where you said that I was an old man?
What?
I think that when you're young, you have a better understanding of who you are because you're not really influenced.
Okay, so people who are young have no idea who they are. Just think about it. I mean, let's take myself, for example. Let's talk about myself. So I don't want to, go on talking about other people I don't know. I don't want to say her. I mean, because she looks relatively young, probably under 18. Definitely, to me, seems like she's going through an identity crisis. But hey, I'm not going to sit here and say that without knowing. So myself, I went through massive identity crisis. When I was 12 or 13, I started, before that, I didn't have a lot of money. So it was kind of whatever clothes I could get. So I didn't have a lot of, I didn't know what fashion was. It wasn't really until around 12, 13, I kind of started seeing things, what I thought was like rebellious and, out there. So I became a skater and I skated a lot and I was pretty good. And then I kind of I always still skated for a long time until I was 21. Sorry guys. Fucking hair. Sorry. Must have trimmed my mustache earlier. And so I went through an emo phase. I went through a metalhead phase where I was wearing leather bands all pushed up my arms. I went through a number of other phases that were smaller and kind of just all over the place, back and forth. I even went through like a real country phase, even though I'm kind of country because I'm from Texas, but it's not really. I have family that's very, very country, but I'm not that country. Even though I do a lot of country stuff, I'm not from the country. And I went through crazy stuff. I had no idea who I was. And that's the point. Teenagers, they are still forming their identity. That's why we go through a number of identities and fashions and little, ridiculous phases. That's what we do as teenagers. So if a teenager doesn't know who they are, why would a 6-year-old or a 8-year-old or a 12-year-old, why wouldn't any of them know what they're talking about if a 14-year-old, a 16-year-old, a 19-year-old doesn't even know who they are?
By other things going on around you. Like when you get older, I think that you're more influenced by...
You're telling me little kids that watch TikTok all day are not influenced by what's going on around them?
I think that little kids probably have... Well, it depends what age, right?
Are you an adult human male?
If I go dick and I'm male.
When I was younger, I actually identified more masculine. And if I could go back and I wasn't raised the way that I was, I actually probably would have wanted to change that about me.
So you probably would have wanted to change that about you. That's insane. If you aren't doing it now, then you don't want to. Let's see.
So I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Yeah. You wish you'd done it when you were younger. What's stopping you from doing it now?
Oh, I've got a lot of other things going on right now.
Okay, see how lighthearted she is about it? Like she doesn't actually want to do it. Meaning that if she was gender dysphoric, if she said she wished she did it, that means she would have had gender dysphoria. If that's true, it would have continued. Most likely, she grew out of whatever identity crisis she has, like everyone else, and became just a woman, a healthy woman. Most men who go through it are usually gay. Most women are just straight women who are having issues with their body. So this is all BS. Like, if I had parents who pushed this kind of nonsense on me, I would have probably either no wiener or a micro wiener. I'm glad I don't. I'm glad I'm definitely not in that category. But that is insane. I would have taken hormone drugs. I would have done, puberty blockers, all that crap, because I was a kid who was so suffering with their identity, so willing to accept anything, take on any identity to get away from who I was. I was willing to trade, this for that, anything I could lump onto myself to get away from who I actually was or who I thought I actually was, I would do. So if I could change my whole person, become another person, change my name, change my sex, change all that, which, you can't change your sex, but you get what I'm saying. I would have done all of that in a heartbeat. If I was told I could become a different person, of a different sex, of a different, name, of a different, everything, and, told to keep my family out of it or whatever, or, what if my family wasn't pushing this? What if I had heard this from other groomers? I was groomed a lot when I was a kid. I was groomed by people who drugged and raped me. I was groomed by and raped by a adoptive sibling, not my brother. I just want to make that clear. My brother never did that to me. My horrible adoptive sister, did that to me. My adoptive brother never did that. Make that clear. Don't want anybody to hate on him. I don't share his name at all, but I want to make that clear for any family watching. So I had been through a lot. A lot of people could have pushed me down that path. Luckily, this ideology was not huge. If it was, I would be one of those kids who is severely sad about having to transition and detransition and never having functionality of downstairs, all of that stuff. That's disgusting. And this woman has no idea what she's talking about.
It's not the biggest thing going on in my life right now.
Exactly. If it's not the biggest thing going on in your life, then you shouldn't even think about it or say you should have done it. Because if it's not the biggest thing, you didn't have gender dysphoria and you don't.
Gender is sort of like a socially constructed thing that is being deconstructed at the moment.
So if a boy likes to play with dolls, does that give him a female gender?
No, not at all.
I used to play with dolls when I played with my sister or the girls in the neighborhood. I played doctor, I played house, I played whatever, dress up. When I played with guys, Ninja Turtles, video games, like NES and Sega Genesis and stuff, whatever games were around back then. And it's retarded to think that this is, and it's true. She says, no, that's not how it is. But it is. Parents are literally saying, oh, he loves dresses and he loves girl toys, so he must be a girl. BS.
Oh.
So what gives him a female gender?
if he feels like he wants to be a woman.
What does it mean to be a woman?
It means that you identify as a woman.
That's a circular definition.
What? If a man wants to identify as a woman, he's allowed to. That's what I mean.
But how does he know he's a woman?
What's a woman then?
It's someone who feels like they want to be a woman.
What is that?
A woman is not just a feeling.
Why does it need to have a cookie cutter definition?
Because it needs.
If we're going to be sterilizing kids, we should be able to define what this term even means. Nobody can.
Do you realize that that kind of thinking makes you what some people would call you a radical? Are you a radical?
I don't think so.
You mentioned
No,
how
he's not.
often they want to have a family and they can't. First of all, not everyone wants to have a family, and there's other ways to have families. There's
Yes, but not
surrogates,
okay. That's stupid argument. Not everyone wants to have a family. That's BS. Okay, you can't judge whether or not you want to have a family when you're 6 years old, when you're 9 years old, when you're 11 years old, even when you're 17 years old. You can 23 years old even. You can't say whether or not you want a family. Most girls don't even know nowadays until they're like 26, 27, 28, 29. And that's sad because I mean, by the time they get to their 30s, they're already going to have complications with pregnancies and everything, more likely to. But this is disgusting. You can't sit here and say, oh, well, most people, I mean, some people won't even want kids. So what, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Yes, it does. Are you kidding me?
There's adoption, all that kind of stuff.
Oh my
It's
God.
not about whether they can physically have a child on their own. That doesn't.
If they're going through that, they should never be adopting a child, number one. Number two, instead of just saying, here, go through all of these horrific things and then adopt a child, say, how about we don't put you through those horrific things, allow you to figure out your life, and then maybe you can have your own child.
Account for all families.
What you're doing right now is trying to justify the sterilization of children.
No, I'm not. I'm asking
Yes,
you a
you
question
are.
about.
Sure you are. You're downplaying it. You're saying it's not such a big deal.
Where are you from originally?
Maluku Island.
Do they have this problem in Maluku Island where people are confused about gender? No? Why not?
Because we got,
Common
our
sense.
culture. I think people in West society is too much brainwashed with all these things, It's all about money.
Yep.
Who do you think's making the money with this?
Medical,
Whoever
pharmaceutical,
make the, all
left-wing
this
groups.
implant surgery.
Do you feel at 19 you're ever going to want kids?
I don't know. It's something that I think about, but it's not something I'm wanting to make a decision on.
See, you don't even know if you want kids at 19. How can you sterilize someone who's 10, 11, 9 years old? How can you sterilize them when you don't even know what you want?
Yeah.
And imagine you were 10.
Yeah, see,
Can
he's
you
calling
make
it
that
out.
decision then?
Exactly.
You can't even make it at 19.
I think that I didn't give permission to film me. I don't want to be filmed.
You don't need your permission. Cool.
You literally walked up to him and took a photo without his
I'm
permission.
not being put on fucking TV, though, you know?
Are you worried you're going to come off looking stupid?
No, it's not something I want to debate.
Okay,
That
well
was
then
just
get out
very
of here.
typical of the level of intelligence. Oh, he's back. It's very natural for people who didn't want to have kids to want to have them later. But now we're putting this adult decision on a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 14-year-old when they're starting on these drugs.
Yep.
They can't possibly consent
Or understand the consequences.
to that sort of decision. That's why my sign says children cannot consent to puberty blockers. They can't understand the ramifications of what they're signing up for.
Yep.
Don't you find it funny that you said you don't want to be on film, you walked up, you took a photo without his consent, then you complained about being filmed without consent, and then you just won't leave us alone?
Being interviewed and photographed, you know?
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Okay, so you didn't have to answer. It's just being photographed without consent is the same
I
thing.
want to be interviewed.
And you're still here.
It doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect your
And
life.
they just want
If
attention.
they want to do that, they should be able to do that.
The epidemic of child
They
abuse.
just don't want attention that gives them negative stereotypes online. So they don't want to be viewed in a negative manner, which is ridiculous because that no matter how they put themselves on, whether they go do the interview or stand around like a moron or try to interrupt things, they always look negative in every light that they put themselves on these, on any YouTube video or any place on social media. They're just lunatics. You're always going to look negative.
Sweeping the Western world is everyone's business. If I saw a child getting beat over there, I would intervene.
Would you not?
I would, but people wanting to be transgender is not people getting beaten up.
Adults cutting off their anatomy, that is probably worse than a child getting beaten up. He will recover from that.
If someone wants to cut off their anatomy because it makes them feel better in their own skin, they should be able to
So
do
you should
that.
cut off your arm.
To 10 years old?
If your child says, I would like to use they, them pronouns.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
not
that
going
says
to
a lot.
encourage a
That
delusion.
says enough. I'm so sorry, but that says
We're
so
gonna go
much
now.
about
It's
who
just very
you
harmful.
are
We're gonna leave.
and how and what you're doing and the harm that you're causing. That's it.
Do you know the easiest way to get the microphone out of your face is?
To remove
Leave.
it. Yeah.
Actually, you like 1, 2, 3. Out of my range.
Very smart.
God bless you, brother. Do you mind? We want to take a photo. Unless you want to take the photo, you're pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. So we're, you guys can finish that. It's Avi Yemeni, Melbourne leftists lose it at Billboard Chris and Avi Yemeni. So, all right, that's Rebel News. Yeah, Australia. But Avi Yemeni's channel, not child. All righty, so let's move on to the next one. All righty, let's do it. This one is crazy, guys. Yeah. By the way, just so you know, this little dancing bear, I'm pretty sure it's a reference to the stripping company, The Dancing Bear. It's disgusting. I mean, they basically go and have bachelorette parties and then have intimate, they get intimate with the people at the bachelorette party. So it's a straight thing, but I'm sure they have a gay one too.
Oh my gosh. What has been your favorite part of this event so far?
I loved going out there and seeing all the kids
You like seeing the what? Let's rehear that.
going out there and seeing all the kids.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. They're just, they'll show their true colors, like always. So it turns out that, Queers for Palestine and, the pro-Hamas crew don't actually get along. Oh, what a surprise. Who would ever have thought that Queers for Palestine and the Palestinians did not get along? Come on. There you go. This is in Philadelphia. It's mostly black people, but that's just because Philadelphia is highly, it's a very high population of black people. I used to live there. This looks like northern Philly. Let's see. So where is this? So this is massive brawl between Pride attendees. They literally beat the crap out of each other. Many people saw this coming, obviously. During an annual Philly Pride March parade, what began as a joyful celebration turned violent. Pro-Hamas protesters known as Queers for Palestine blocked the parade, igniting tensions. Oh wait, so this is this is Queers for Palestine versus other queers. That's even better. Oh my God. Oh, this is funny. This is funny. Oh my God. Let's see. Yeah, this is just crazy, guys. Yeah, that's so ridiculous. I mean, it's absurd. So we opened up with this one. We're going to get into it. This is not very long, pretty short clip, but this is Lady MAGA USA. So I don't know if you guys know this one or have heard of them. This is, he's just a gay dude who dresses up in drag, but make sure he never wants anything around children. He's very anti, this progressive LGBT crap, but he dresses up in drag. Sometimes he'll make videos for Trump to try to help promote him in the LGBT community. And then other times he just goes to events and, whatever. So he's actually a really nice person. I met him once and very cool. He doesn't ask you to call him by pronouns. It's just a man in drag. That's it.
And so I did a study abroad in the Middle East with Israel and
You did a study abroad in the Middle East with Israel and Palestine. That's BS, just coming from what she says.
Palestine.
Would you say you're pro-Palestine or pro-Israel?
Pro-Palestine.
As a gay man, I would be punished and or put in prison or killed if I were openly gay in Palestine. How do you react to that?
Look at his face.
I didn't know that. So
yeah. How did you not know that? And you did a study supposedly with Israel and Palestine? I find that it's just probably a lie, but this is just ridiculous.
It is illegal to be gay in Palestine. You are punished by prison or death.
Israel?
No, Israel has gay pride. Israel is completely...
Israel has one of the largest pride parades in all of that side of the hemisphere. I don't agree with it. I think they should either completely shut it down. It's not a whole month either. It's like a weekend. So I guess it's not a big deal. But still, it's nothing compared to any other Middle Eastern country, let alone any country in Africa or Asia. It's basically probably the biggest, other than maybe one or two in Europe, that have kind of outgrown it over the last 2 years, but it used to be the biggest in all of that side of the hemisphere.
Open to lesbian and gay people. Palestine puts them in prison or kills them.
It throws them off
aware
buildings.
of that?
I was not aware of that.
How are you not aware of
So
that?
that does pose an interesting aspect.
Have you seen the Queers for Palestine movement? It's a very common movement, but I don't see any Muslims for Queer movements.
No, of course not.
That's where it gets gray, right? Like,
why would they?
That's where I feel
Well,
like...
for me, it's not gray. I am fearful of Islam because
Should be.
there is no Islamic country on earth that embraces me as a gay man.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's just logical, common sense to understand this. It's easy to find out. It's easy for them to tell you. They'll thousands of millions of videos probably online that they'll openly tell you these things. They're openly caught saying these things, saying they want to kill gay people, and yet no one like in this movement knows this. Are you kidding me?
So, okay, so maybe I'm confused because Israel, which is still an Islam country.
Did she just say that she did a study in Israel and somehow she doesn't know that Israel is the only Jewish state?
Right?
No, Jewish.
Okay.
Idiot.
Okay.
So Israel's Jewish, Palestinians are Islamic.
Okay.
Wow, idiot. I mean, look at his face. He's just like, wow, this woman has no idea what she's talking about. Obviously, she never did a study in the Middle East with Israel. It's just crazy. I mean, it's insane, dude. So there's actually one more thing I wanted to show you guys real quick. Give me a sec. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to show you the whole thing. Just a little quick. There's a quick version of it. Yeah, there it is. There's the short version. Cool. Alrighty.
Palestinians versus do you think most gay people tend to side more with the Palestinians versus the Israelis in general on the conflict?
I would say yes.
Because of the human rights situation.
100%.
I've done Man the Street videos all across the world on explosive topics. This is the first time I've had a local producer expressly forbid me from doing this segment because he thinks that asking people about homosexuality will absolutely explode into violence. But I did it anyway.
It's unacceptable, morally and societally unacceptable. They are a disease. Anywhere they are found, there is weakness.
In the Palestinian territories, there's not much of a debate on gay marriage. Here the discussion is more about the killing and the torturing of members of the LGBT community.
Honestly, I didn't know that was even going on.
How?
They don't value human rights.
How did you not know this? This is common knowledge for every person on earth, and yet you somehow don't know this? Are you that brainwashed?
Sure, human rights.
What should be done to gay people?
Someone who goes down this path should get the Islamic punishment of death, obviously, should apply to them. That's a shake, by the way.
I mean, it's horrifying.
Yeah. I think that's it. Let's see. Seems to. Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, I mean, it's insane, guys. I mean, I don't understand how these people can sit here and not know this information. I mean, when I was a leftist, I still knew that Islam despised anybody who was in that group, LGBT, gay, queer, whatever you want to call it. They despised them. They wanted to murder them. They wanted to throw them off buildings. And yet these people are so, like, just stuck in their ways. They are willfully blind to the obvious truths that are obviously available all over the world, all over the social media, all over the internet. Doesn't matter where you look, you can find these answers coming from the mouths of these people themselves, and yet you want to support them? Like you think they're the oppressed ones when they're pushing the most oppressive regime that's almost ever existed, besides maybe Nazism, in some ways worse in other ways? It's crazy. Like, I don't understand it. So, but yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. I really appreciate you guys coming down, watching my video. So don't forget to go down there, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for all notifications. And if you like this video, share it, please. And if you didn't, I appreciate you guys sticking around and watching. Alrighty, I'll catch you guys next time. Have a good one.